Hey, Donald Trump almost fell flat on his face at a recent rally in Londonderry, New Hampshire, again raising questions about Donald Trump's balance and other supposed symptoms that could connect to cognitive decline or frontotemporal dementia or other conditions that there are discussions of Donald Trump having. But even before we get to that, Donald Trump is now just having rallies. He's having rallies as if there is no pandemic. He had 1,500 or so people at his RNC speech, no masks, no testing, no social distancing. And not only was the rhetoric of the RNC indicative of a pandemic that's in the rearview mirror, the actions were as well. And Donald Trump now is simply resuming rallies, large rallies, rallies without social distancing, and rallies, of course, with some arrests, a number of different arrests taking place after Donald Trump's Londonderry, New Hampshire rally. But first and foremost, so here is Donald Trump walking up a set of stairs to give his speech. And as you can see, Donald Trump sort of losing his balance and just narrowly avoiding falling flat on his face. And of course, as people watch this, a lot of speculation about Donald Trump's balance and fitness. We all remember Donald Trump being helped down a ramp when he spoke at West Point just a few months ago, speculation about cognitive decline, all of these questions continuing to run rampant, and certainly Donald Trump almost falling down. It certainly could be nothing. I'll be the first to tell you it could just be bad set of circumstances, taking a wrong step or whatever. But certainly with everything else that's been going on, with Donald Trump bragging about his great score on a cognitive test meant only to identify very serious signs of cognitive decline, dementia, etc., not particularly inspiring of confidence. Now, once Trump got on the stage, it didn't actually get any better. Donald Trump ranting and raving about all sorts of bizarre things. Another one of these just humiliating events that really is as much of an indictment of the crowd who will clap for anything at this point, as much of an indictment of the supporters as it is of Donald Trump. Here is Donald Trump with a very strange rant about protesting ass. You're not mishearing me. Talking about his ass. This is the president, ladies and gentlemen, making no sense.
You know what I say? Protest is your ass. I don't talk about my ass.
So this is an extremely low level of discourse. It's a crowd that will cheer for anything. I don't really like this term. I think it's one of these stupid terms that Trumpists latched onto for a little while. But the idea of the NPC, a non-playable character from a video game that just repeats the predictable pre-programmed actions no matter what's going on around them, that's what I think of, thanks to Trumpists who introduced me to the term. That's what I think of when I see people clapping for anything that Donald Trump says. Later in the rally, Donald Trump said people have no choice but to vote for him, and that he really doesn't have to be running for president anyway. I guess he is continuing to say that this is a favor he's done the American people, I guess. Take a look.
Every family and every neighborhood, and we will fight for every vote. We have to win. We have no choice. Can I be honest with you? Okay, look. We're working hard. We're all working. I don't have to do this. I could get off that beautiful plane. It used to be black and white with a red stripe. That was mine. But that's Air Force One, you know? I get off that beautiful plane. I could come up and say, ladies and gentlemen of New Hampshire, you have no choice. You have to vote for me. Because if you don't, you'll be put in radical lefties. You'll have a depression.
Now, of course, remember, we have an economic recession, depression now. Under Democrats, these are just the facts. We could debate how much they matter. We can debate correlation versus causation. But if you look historically, under Democratic presidents, stocks do better, but stocks aren't really an indicator of the economy at large. Unemployment is lower under Democratic presidents. GDP growth is higher under Democratic presidents. Job creation is stronger under Democratic presidents. You can argue correctly that on too many issues, there are not real substantive differences between your average Democrat and your average Republican. That's a fair discussion to have. But these numbers are clear. So the fear mongering that the stock market will implode if Joe Biden is president, that the economy will implode, that your 401ks will be worth nothing, that unemployment will explode, that taxes will quadruple, none of it is borne out by the facts. Another example, by the way, of how easily the Trump crowd will just do whatever Trump says, Trump attacking or mentioning Chris Wallace from Fox News, the crowd booing. They will, at the drop of a hat, turn on whoever. Take a look at this.
And one person, I think it was Chris Wallace, nice guy. He's actually a nice guy. He said that he didn't have the same energy in the speech that he usually has. Well, it's a different kind of a speech. Tonight, I'm in New Hampshire, and we can wing it.
So notice how Donald Trump's entire base, I mean, for years, Fox News was their friend. Fox News was their ally. And mostly Fox News still carries water for Donald Trump. But notice how quickly the entire base turns on whoever, including Fox News. This is a sign of a cult, that what the leader says is not questioned and adhered to. We spoke to cult expert Stephen Hassan a few months ago, and it was one of the signs that he talked about. And then lastly, Donald Trump insisting that the protesters aren't protesters and they don't even know why they're protesting.
They're not protesters. Those aren't those are anarchists. They're agitators. They're rioters. They're looters. They're not. You know, you say that, and some of the people, not all of them, but some of the people back there, how dare you? These are friendly protesters, right? Friendly protesters. They're just looking for trouble. Has nothing to do with George Floyd, has nothing to do with anything. They don't even know who George Floyd is. Okay? They don't know who George Floyd. They have no idea. If you ask them, who's George Floyd, they couldn't even tell you. These are just bad people, troublemakers, and they shouldn't be representing our country at important events, and we've got to stop it.
So we're going to talk about the protest, the inciting to violence of protesters by the Trump administration in more detail later on in the program. But what you have here fundamentally is hostility towards people exercising their rights under the First Amendment in a way that Donald Trump doesn't like. That's what this is. And I'm going to talk later, I don't want to get ahead of myself, of why inciting them to violence is beneficial for Donald Trump's reelection campaign. That's coming up later. Make sure you're following us on Instagram at David Pakman Show for more on this and all of the other stories from today's show. One of our sponsors today is Lucy, and they are giving my audience 20% off. Lucy is a company founded by Caltech scientists with only one mission, which is to help people quit smoking and vaping by offering a clean, affordable nicotine alternative. Now, many of you know, you've heard the stories. I've known several people in my life who have struggled with quitting smoking. I've seen how difficult it can be. And nicotine alternatives can be hugely helpful. Lucy offers a nicotine gum in 3 flavors: wintergreen, cinnamon, and pomegranate. They also have lozenges, which come in cherry ice flavor. Lucy is affordable. It'll ship right to your door. You don't have to go out to the store. Shipping is always free. You can buy single boxes or save with a subscription. It's the year 2020. It's time to throw the cigarettes away and get rid of the vape. And Lucy can make it easier. You'll find a ton of excellent reviews online from countless people who have used Lucy to quit smoking and vaping. Go check them out at lucy.co. I've put the link right underneath this video, and you'll get 20% off when you use the coupon code PAKMAN. And just a quick disclaimer, I'm required to give: these products contain nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.